haven't done one of these in a while. So I wanted to pick an easy one to dive into. Sadly, I didn't expect this one to be so bad. I wanted to enjoy a crossover of all my favorite CN characters in honor of what happened to the channel. Once again this year, I'm disappointed. Let's start with a few positives. Starting with Ben was a good idea. Who better to start the adventure with than one of Cartoon Network's greatest heroes? Aside from a few, the choice of characters for this crossover was good. Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Ben, Dexter, and more fit well enough together. If I could argue for this being possibly canon, then it would support my simulation theory. Sadly, I cannot. We'll get to that later. That's it. That's everything good about this crossover. As a game and as a story, it's badly put together. The best example to point to when explaining what not to do in a crossover. Little effort was put into this. Let's go down the list from bad to worst. 1. The graphics are bad. I don't usually care, but this was bad enough to catch my attention. Even the more high-quality cutscenes look like they were put together by duct tape. 2. The repeated voice lines are annoying. I know it's hard to get all the character voice actors on board, but this is just embarrassing.
Hi! Hi! Dexter! Boy Genius! And Buttercup! Matt! Dexter! Boy Genius! Dexter! Boy Genius! I'm Bubbles! I'm Buttercup! I'm Bubbles!
Hey!
I'd rather have silence than this. 3. The narrator is terrible. Hardly funny and unnecessary. It would be fine if the ending was different. We'll get to that later. 4. The choice of having Chowder's world be the introduction was strange. The opening cutscene seemed pretty serious. Opening the game up to a light-hearted world like this seemed jarring. 5. Nothing is really explained. Characters just appear and disappear at random sometimes. They say they're saving each world, but they disappear into the void in the end anyway. The reason for universes disappearing is never explained, and the villains are helping to destroy them, for some reason. Speaking of villains. 6. The main villains we see include Aku, Vilgax, Sticky Beard, Father. Why are they here? What are they doing? How can they travel the dimensions so easily? Oh, my mistake. I shouldn't be thinking about this so hard, right? Let's move on to the worst part of the game before I start playing 20 questions. 7. The final boss is a fucking TV remote. How does that relate to erasing universes? Why would the villains help a remote erase the multiverse? But you know what's the worst part? The TV remote belongs to the narrator. Just, why? The only way I can explain it is this. The remote is from a higher dimension and the narrator is a god. The god was watching the simulation of Cartoon Network until suddenly stuff happened. That's where the game's story begins. Tell me, doesn't that sound stupid? I've used similar reasoning before, but considering the context, it doesn't work well here. There are too many assumptions without any connecting strings. Also, the narrator doesn't act like some higher dimensional god. One that stumbled upon the wonder that is Cartoon Network. It's just too ridiculous for me to take seriously. Oh yeah, Captain Planet also appears in the end for little reason. You may think I'm being too hard. You're saying that this wasn't supposed to be a good story in the first place. But you see, it could have been. The blueprint was there. This game came out in 2011. All of the story-driven Nicktoons games came out over 3 years before that, and they did a much better job. Voice acting, story, characters, and gameplay. This game could have copied and pasted but chose a Smash clone style instead. There is little excuse for this being so low quality. The missing potential of this is just sad. So yeah, don't take this game seriously. I get it, there's no way to make this canon to the whole Cartoon Network multiverse. This definitely didn't happen. A fan of Cartoon Network dreamed up this nonsense. It would explain the remote being the final boss. I give this a 3 out of 10 for enjoyment and 1 out of 10 for the possibility of being canon. I've heard of fan fictions better than this. The only reason why it's not 1 out of 10 is because some of the interactions were good. I also had some expectations, and that could have made me more upset than normal. That's all I had to say. Sorry for the short video. Comment below what other crossovers I should cover. Something with some meat would be nice. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe and support me through the links in the description. With that, I'm done.